Hello everyone and welcome to another Phyrexia All Will Be One draft. Rare is unplayable and uncommons are all quite good. The best common here is the Raptor, which you want to combine with specifically toxic creatures, especially 2-drops with toxic, but there are a bunch of them in this set. From different colors even, and there's stuff like Dune Mover too. I still think that the clearly best card here has to be the Evolving Adaptive. So I'm gonna take it. It's just a very nice, especially on turn 1, but even later in the game it's quite easy to make into a 2-2, and it's a 1 mana 2-2, which eventually can grow into even bigger stats. So it of course has very nice synergy with oil stuff, especially the red spell bomb. Okay, so someone chose not to take the Owika pick 1. They took a common over it. I think that pack 1 pick 1 Owika makes sense, even though it's 2 colors, but it can be splashed because if it's a 7 mana card, single casters, you can easily splash. I mean, assuming you are either blue or red, you can still splash it, and there are means to do it. Now, is it a card I'm gonna play here right now? After taking this, I could still take it. Of course, it's only pick 2 in the draft. But what I'm really seeing here, liking here, is the Troller Drake. Now, I know blue-green might not be the strongest archetype, but this has oil synergies, this has, so proliferating becomes better, all that. I'm actually thinking that, given my first pick, the Troller Drake makes the most sense. So let's do that. And then there's an, I think, pretty easy pick after all these. Now the best card in the pack is probably the Nimrazer Paladin, just a very nice value card. But I could have synthesizer. Now I have 3 cards that care about oil, proliferating becomes better, and non-creatures become better because both the Drake and this care about it. This gets counters by our oil counters just by playing some creatures. So I think the synthesizer is the pick here. It's also a defensive 2-drop, and then later in the game it can be a very offensive 3-power creature. Yeah, let's go for it. And the good news is I see blue and green. The blue cards are, well, okay, Chrome Plotter. But I think here the Cultivator might just be what I want to have. Or maybe the Spore. I don't usually like this, but when you have these things, proliferating might be quite nice. But no, this is just such a nice 1-drop. I can maybe get stuff like this Spore later on. I'm gonna take this. And this is proliferating. This is a... Oh, there's a Furnace Punisher. This is the best card in the pack, pretty easily. It's such a nice stat line. 3/3 Menace for 3, really good. I played with the Strider in a blue-white deck a couple of drafts ago. It wasn't that great, but in this deck, when you combine it with green, it can actually be an interesting one because you can proliferate these counters, and it's gonna be easier to crew it in a green deck. The long legs is the kind of card that you can have later on too, so I think I'll take the Strider. Let's try it in the blue-green deck. And well, this is the first pack that doesn't really synergize with anything. I mean, there's a Maze Skull Bomb, which it's a non-creature spell, but I could take the Basilisk too. I don't think I'm gonna be that much of a poisoning the opponent, but this deck might care about defensive stuff. I think the Skull Bomb is something that's not gonna be very important in this specific deck. Instant of sorcery. I don't have any. I could take the Engulfer. Oh, what the heck, there's another Nimrazer Paladin here. I could have a deck with double of those after pack 1. Anyway, I think this could also be picked, but the most reasonable pick is the Steward. Yeah, it has some oil counter synergies, but mostly just a 2-drop. Can trade with opposing early drops. That's what you want to have in this set. Okay, so this will be a good card in this deck, but Distorted Curiosity, I mean, it's gonna be just a divination mostly in this deck, and I'm gonna have enough oil to make the trolls quite nice, and I do like it more than the Insight. This has Proliferate, but it's also 5 mana, don't affect the board really, other than what the Proliferate does. This thing draws me a card, gives me 3 life, and is a body still. Okay, this thing is, removal and proliferating. Exactly what I want to have here. So let's do it. Go on. And here, well, I'm in the correct colors maybe. Don't care about this, don't care about this now. I'll take one of these. Maybe the Bay, don't think it matters which one it is. Don't care about this card, but that Titanic Growth is something I could play. Another defensive card, another 5-drop. I think I prefer my 5-drops to be the Oil Goji Trolls. So, Basilisk. I guess I got still one of these Fishers. 5 mana 4/3 flyer that loots as an ETB is like a kind of okay. If you have defensive stuff, and actually with these Death Touchers I do, I could see this being somewhat useful in this deck, and I can main deck it, or it's possible I won't main deck it, but it's something I won't immediately move to the sideboard. This is pack 1 by the way, and I have 13 cards I could see playing. Incubation Sack, now that works with Proliferation, but I need something better, and the Vorak is one. You could maybe take the Slash and splash it, but this is such a nice one. It's always gonna be good, and usually you just get a land with this thing, but I have actually sometimes reasons to just proliferate with it as well, because you can always choose to proliferate even if you see some lands there. But yeah, let's just move on. That's the easy pick there. Another splashable thing, but I think it's time to pick in a Lattice Blade Mantis. It's quite good. There's an Icroblade column. How can I always kind of miss this? But I didn't pick this yet. I don't know how many of this oily stuff I have, but it is really decent. But so is the Mantis. I have no 4-drops yet. I mean, maybe this is just better in red-green, but blue... Yeah, okay, I'll just take the Mantis, I believe. It's such a nice 4-drop, and I have no 4-drops. Alright, Logbook, no. Growth Priest is the best card, but of course not for this deck. But Augury, that will be a card that is very playable in this deck, so let's pick it. And another Hex Gold Slash. Okay. Do I want to have a Dune Mover just to have a 2-drop? Because I'm a little bit scared about the fact I don't have early game here. It's not gonna be that amazing. I don't think I'm gonna poison the opponent that much, but it's still possible. I'd rather have something else as a 2-drop than this thing, but I suppose I just need to pick it over the Basilisk. I have 3-drops, I don't need 3 mana plays. This is something you could consider, but let's take the 2 mana. 2 mana play there after all. Okay. +1, +3, Flying, Toxic. It's not an unplayable card, because the 1 mana +1, +3 can be quite nice. Should I take one of these insights? I don't have that many things to proliferate into, but I have 1, 2, 3 5-drops already. Okay, I'll take another 4-drop. Retrofitter, I don't think it's actually doing much here. I mean, my artifact count is like at 2. I don't think I have any artifact tokens. I'll take the troll. Viral spawning, surgical skull bomb. Now the spawning is... Yeah, I just don't think if I get the Toxic that easily. It's a 3 mana 3/3. I like the Skullbomb maybe better, but I think the long legs because I need a 2-drop. And this also proliferates. I'll take the long legs because I want to have the early game now. Alright, so this is... I could take the Cultivator number 2, Thirsting Roots, but I think I'll just take the land that fixes my mana. The Mantle is, playable, but this is pack 2, pick 8. I'm at, 19 spells actually. So I'll just take the mana fixing land. I have some double casters, so that's actually quite useful as well. So here I could take the Canopy for sideboard. I don't need the Engulfer, I have an expensive place already. I could just take the Maze here as well. But this is a good sideboard card, I'll take that instead. Another one of those things, another one of these things. This is also a nice sideboard card if you don't have room for the main deck, for example against burn-based removal. Can work nicely. I don't think I need a Basilisk or second one of these. I'll take this as a sideboard card. Wow, no one took the Rot Priest. You know what, I'm just taking it, it shouldn't be there. And here, I don't think I want to have multiple Fishers. The Basilisk, nah, let's take the uncommon. Okay, well, maybe I play this, probably not in the main deck, but I could sideboard it in. Alright. Other blue creatures must allow you to loot. Okay, and you can turn creatures into blue artifacts, so this is kind of a lord. You can make your other creatures artifacts so that the pump effect applies to them. But I also have here the Surgeon, which wouldn't be the worst. A Synthesizer, I would like that too, and the Warrak. I mean, this is actually 4 cards I would be happy having here. But I think the Warrak is just such a nice one. I'll take it. I'll take it over the Anctus. And here another nice 3-drop, but I think the Ruthless Predation is here the peak. Might even consider playing 2 Auguries, but I'll take the removal spell. How about this pack? Well, this is a lot worse. No, it's not. There's another removal spell that even proliferates. Yeah, those it is. Immobilizer, quite easy pick, I would say. Yeah, it's easy. I can even give this more counters, so that's actually very fantastic pick now. All right, how about here? Punisher, Sack. Now the Sack can be good, but it's so slow. Do I have time for that? I actually think I could play another long legs because I do have some late game power here if I just survive. So I believe I'm gonna take the long legs for that reason. I forget about the Sack now. Thrumming Bird. Wow, this is a lot of good options. The Predation, another Dose, and the Thrumming Bird. This is just a 1/1, but it keeps proliferating. I'm not sure if I have enough reasons to keep proliferating. I probably don't. So I'm gonna take one of the removal spells. Let's take the Dose, I believe. Because it also does the proliferating thing. Fisher. I guess I could see some matches where I want to have this here. Yeah, let's take the Fisher, but I think I will cut at least one from the main deck. I will never play 3 of them. I mean, I think the Trolls are just better and I have also the Strider here, so let's just take an, uncommon. And here I can take the Unnatural Restoration over the Engulfer. This has also proliferating, and here I can take the land because I'm already going to cut a number of cards. Mantle, but not gonna probably main deck it. Well, I guess the Watcher could in some cases be a card I wanna have. I don't think I need the Maze Skull Bomb. Okay, another Blake Nurse. I definitely have a lot of options on these colors were open. I'm not sure how good the deck is, but I really wanted to have more of these good uncommons, the Adaptive or the Troll Drake, and there are others. Also good commons, like where was the Icro Synthesizer that I saw earlier in this pack? So both of the blue 2-drops, also the uncommon that can make you guys fly. That was also picked because it was in the same pack as the synthesizer. Okay. If I can avoid playing the Dune Mover, I will. So let's see. Type creature. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 2-drops and a couple of 1-drops. Okay. Well. I guess the 2-mana 2/1 has to go. Maybe the Titanic Growth has to go. One of the Fishers and I guess the Insight could go as well. Yeah, I still need to make a bunch of cuts here. Don't know if I... Don't know if I can play all these 5-drops. I mean, the Insight probably goes away. I wanna see... So this says, if you control a permanent with an oil counter on it. Now that means Strider works, the Immobilizer works. That's 2, and then of course all the creatures. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures that can have oil counters. I think that's just about enough. So that the trolls will definitely be played in this deck. Yeah, let's cut the card row here. Cut the lands also for now. So this is 26 still. I guess the Restoration is something you could choose not to play. Maybe one of the Plague Nurses. I really don't know if I care about the toxic stuff too much. This is mostly a 4-mana 3/4. So if I cut actually both of them, and maybe just one Basilisk, is that it? I don't think this deck really wants to focus on poisoning the opponent, because that's just not enough creatures to do so. Now the Watcher isn't that great, but it is a 2-mana play. I can even jump block with it in a pinch. Unless I want to really just cut that and trust that my 3-drops are defensive enough to buy some time if I miss my 2-drop, because this doesn't really affect much the board state, and I don't synergize with this thing at all, so I think it's not a good addition to the deck, which leaves me room for one more card. I will be playing 17 lands because of all these 5-drops, despite having ways to get some more mana. I'm kind of actually curious if I should play the second Fisher too. If I can have a defensive ground here, then I can win with some flyers. Or I could take the Insight as well, but... Or I can play the 1-mana trick or the 2-mana trick, which is the Titanic Growth, or the 3-mana trick, which is the Mage's Mantle. There's definitely a lot of options, and I can tune the deck when I'm sideboarding. But let's take the kind of approach here that I try to stabilize and then win with my 5-drops. Because the Vorax and the Cultivator make it slightly easier to hit my, have mana to cast my 5-drops here. And I have here some quite defensive plays which I can use to buy time. Like I have it 1-3, 1-3, 1-3 here, for instance. And this is Death Toucher here. This can just tap down anything. That is 9 blue, 13 green. I could see playing the Asken too. It's such a nice little 1-mana trick. Not sure if many even expect to have for their opponent to have it. But let's do the greedy play in the main deck and then watch me sideboarding out at least 1 or 2 of these 5-drops in each of the games. But I believe my 3-drops are defensive enough. I mean, these 6 3-drops can do some defensive action, buy some time. Now, the average mana value is 3.0, which is a little bit heavy in this format, but I guess the Vorax helped me finding more lands. And I have the Restoration here. I guess I could maybe... Yeah, I guess I could maybe not play the Restoration and have the Asken. I do like the 1-mana trick slightly more than the 2-mana trick here. This is mostly just to save your creatures from dying. I mean, my 3-3 is looking like a 3-2. I can save it still. I don't care about dealing +4 damage to the opponent that much with this deck. The difference between 1 and 2 mana, that's a lot. Okay, so this is the main deck, and I have a lot of options to tune my deck when sideboarding. I think it's pretty easy to have a even, mana base because I have the Terramorphic Expanse, so with 17 lands I can just play 8/8 Expanse. So that's it. Let's add the lands. What is the land? Art. Zendikar Rising full art. This time. Okay, I don't think I have played blue-green earlier in this set. But I started with the adaptive. My second pick was the Drake. What I really wanted to have here... Why do I have 42? Sorry, I added, as you can see, 19 lands because I forgot I had the Bay and the Maze. I almost proceeded here. So now this is the correct mana base, of course. So yeah, I would have preferred to have more of these synthesizers here. I don't have that many non-creatures, but a bunch of my creatures do proliferate too. But I mean, I didn't get them, so let's play with this. Okay, and I'm getting this kind of a starting hand on the draw. Yeah, this is a mulligan. This is better, and sadly I do have to... I mean, these doses deal with their first place, but this Mantis has oil in it. This would draw a card if this survives, assuming I get to turn 5. So I'm tempted just to get one of the doses away. You can't even benefit from the Proliferate now, so I'm gonna actually do that. I'd rather try to get the value from the troll. Okay, that's a very nice 3-drop. Because I do want to hit my lands here, of course. That's another blue-green deck. Okay, they get to poison me. I of course can just trade with the Vorak here. They might have the, the plan to proliferate. Well, they have a decent start. Although Tankerbloom on turn 3 is of course not as good as on turn 2, because on turn 3 you could have easily a 3-2. Hey, this was one turn too late. No. Anyway. I'm still gonna play this. It's the most mana efficient thing to do. Get the land and sadly my 4-drop isn't good at blocking 3 power creatures. Well, this will get rid of my mesmerizing dose, but I really don't like. Oh, they also play black. Yeah, I think I have to do it like this, just to prevent taking yet another 2 poison. Okay, so I mean I can't use the dose as long as they have the Kangaroo Bloom here. I just hate to take, you know, 8 damage here. Well, let's first see if this is even gonna survive this turn. Of course, the opponent was on the play, had 2-drop. I missed my 2-drop. That means I am in big trouble, of course. Oh, I will take damage. They might not use the oil here if they want to save it on a turn when I have a... Okay, they might also have proliferating here. They can actually proliferate with this thing too if they really want to. Now, I'm in a very bad shape here. If they have anything, I mean, if they had an empty hand, of course I would still be able to stabilize with this board. Problem is, they don't have an empty hand. I don't mind trading with the Mantis here. That's totally fine. But if they have now a pump spell, I will die. I needed the long legs on turn 2. Imagine what kind of a difference it would have made, because I would have just been able to trade with this thing and then my Vorak would have traded with the Kangaroo Bloom. I mean, that was all the difference there was. It was a shame I drew it on turn 3. But that would have made the game progress totally in a different way. So they have interaction here, that means I'm dead. Because... oh, they had that kind of interaction. Oh man. Oh yeah. Well, 2 for 1 here while removing my guy. Sounds about fair. So problem here is that all of these are now lethal and I can only deal with 2 of them. Nice Black Sun's Twilight. Jeez. I really didn't need that kind of stuff here. The Basilisk will be good here. The Toucher is gonna be very relevant here. I still like the Ascent here, but I won't like something here. Don't know what it is gonna be though. Maybe one of the Fishers. Okay. Like I said, I will cut those 5 drops most likely whenever I sideboard something in. Okay, I will be at least on the play here. And I won't miss... well, I might miss my 2-drop, but I have a 1-drop, which actually is gonna need some help because I have no place between turn 1 and turn 5 until I draw them. Of course, most non-lands will be spells that cost 2 or 3 or 4 mana, so I'm not too concerned. I would be very surprised if my next play happens on turn 5. Oh, this is actually gonna... it has 2 toughness, so it is gonna pump this guy up. That was a very nice start, so I even have the mana accelerating now. Yeah, this is really good start now, after drawing the Cultivator. Let's see if they can remove some of this stuff. They have the Stalker, okay. So I think it's not worth attacking into that guy, because I can make this into a 4-4. And I will actually trade with the Basilisk here, because I want to have the Cultivator giving me a play right now. Well, they don't even want to actually... they maybe thought that I would be blocking with the Cultivator. Well, obviously I won't. This is fantastic now. So I'll just play the Troll first. Because I have oil here. Both of these will give a counter and adaptive. And now I can loot one of the islands away on the next turn. If they double block, I couldn't be happier. So let's attack. This is how the deck is supposed to work. But of course a very big thing is the adaptive. My 1-drop is now a 4-4 here. Okay, so that won't be getting another counter now, because Fisher isn't large enough to do that. So the adaptive will trade with the 4-drop, which is, you know, quite valuable still. So I don't need to show them that I have the flyer. I'm just gonna go with the aggression here. Because they might do different blocks when they know I have a 4 power flyer here. They might take some damage now. Try to steal, maybe somehow raise me. Because they can't kill this other than by double blocking, and then they lose both of their creatures. So I can't imagine them doing that. And now I can just do this thing. Draw a card. Discard a card. And at least I can still crack the land if I keep drawing more lands here. But they need to also deal with the Fisher. Now they are not in a position to win the race. Okay, just a 2-mana cantrip with selection, but I mean that is 2 of the mana from this turn, so even if they have a land drop, they can only have a 3-mana play. Which is, you know, could be very dangerous, but let's hope. Let's hope they don't get to grow this too soon. Okay, another troll, and I have the oil here. Let's just play this right away, just to see what I draw. Could give me some information. Okay, that is nice. So again, I could attack with the Basilisk. They will trade with the Stalker there for sure, but it's actually fine now. I don't mind them doing that trade. I don't mind it at all. Jump block? What? No, they are not gonna jump block. These will pick counters when they proliferate or play non-creatures. They are down to 4 though. I know I could have played an untapped land and then untap something to crack the Hunter Maze, but I'd rather just add another oil here, play the tap land now, and then I can start cracking those lands. Okay, they have this thing, but it's actually gonna die. So, I mean, it is a good blocker, of course, but they have to now jump block with the Troller Drake. Haha. Yeah, if I attack with everything, they can eat one of the trolls. Don't like that, so there's no rush to do that. Let's hope they don't have a means to. I mean, they can sack this to proliferate, but Troller Drake will not die to a 2/2. So I hope they just. I mean, the Fishhead doesn't die to a 2/2. So I hope they don't have a. They had to trade there. But I can still wait the Spinoderm to die. I mean, it's not the worst. And now I can crack one of the lands. End of their turn. Of course they can proliferate this many times, but I'm at 26. If they attack with it, be my guest, it doesn't have vigilance. So fine. Have the mythic rare there. Be my guest. It will have protection from green. That is nice. Okay, there's a bounce spell. I guess bouncing the trolls isn't the greatest thing. Alright, this still has hexproof, yep. Not like I can target it with the predation because it has protection from green. Come on, let's have another flyer. Hexproof is now, but it doesn't have protection from blue. So so it has hexproof as long as. Oh, come on, where does it say it? 2 or fewer. Otherwise, yeah, it has trample if it has 2 of you, but otherwise it has hexproof. Alright. So they actually don't have mana right now. This will get rid of the dose. So that means I'm gonna use the Ruthless Predation right now. They can't use this in response. Because they can actually kill the Strider. Yeah, it's actually pretty important that... Wait a minute, is this a lethal attack? Is this a lethal attack? Oh man, it is. I'm sorry. I forgot that this thing can just... This just... Plus it would have been lethal anyway, because it was the +1 here. I mean, they're at 4. I was such a fool, because even if I couldn't crew this with the oil, I mean, this gives +1 here. So they can just... even if it didn't, it doesn't even matter. I had 1, 3 and 3 here. That was guaranteed 4 damage when I killed her. I was really fool here. I'm sorry, I just don't totally, didn't realize. And I don't even have another feature. Actually, I did sideboard one out. Okay, so they have Sword of Fortune Frontier. That means Canopy get here. No other way to deal with that thing though. Do I want to have another flyer? It actually seemed quite good in here. But also, if they have a faster start, it's gonna be quite awkward. I'm not sure how good the long legs is other than for blocking the 3-1. It might actually be too small of a creature, so I could cut that. And then should I cut the other one too and have like a Titanic growth, which could be useful? Or maybe even the Mage's Mantle. No, I think I like the +4/+4. Problem is if they do have the 3-1 specifically, I will be in trouble. But I think the 1/3 other than that is quite bad, even though it can proliferate. I'm gonna actually be a little bit risky here. I will put also the Titanic growth, cutting the early drops here, and hoping... I guess I could have the Dune Mover though. Okay, I'm gonna have actually the Dune Mover instead. It can block their 2 toughness creatures. Fine, this is the final one now. But yeah, I would have liked to have the 5-drop flyer number 2, but it's just so nasty if I draw all my 5-drops. The opponent mulligans, but so do I. I mean, it's just... I mean, even if one of these was a forest, this is not gonna grow much. Okay, this is better. This gets me a land. Vorak gives me a land. So again, keep 6, and I actually am gonna do this instead of the troll, because this gives me my 3rd land. This might get my 4th land, and then I need to just draw 1 for this. But I of course want to draw also something with oil. Okay, if I draw a land now, I won't be... Okay, I did it, so I will be getting it now. Especially because I actually do need 2nd blue here. Okay, Steward. They missed their land drop. I think they're just gonna block here most likely, which is something I'm very fine with. They don't want me to proliferate any poison for them, but they probably need the creature for something. I will take a land now because I lack my 5th one. It's very unlikely that I would be poisoning them in the end. That I can tap down. But not on this turn. I'll just play the Basilisk. Okay, they just took 2 damage for no reason. I don't have oil now, so I'd rather have one of my oil things before playing the troll. Okay, they get that into 3. power, but I can tap it down, and if they get the 2-drop that can destroy an enchantment, I can, you know, re-enchant it. Well, I mean, troll would be fine, I guess. After all, it is a 3/4. Gains me some life, which is not gonna matter that much, but I mean, it's still a creature I can use to raise, because I can also just tap down whatever they're gonna play as a blocker on this turn, assuming they attack with the Drake, and they will go down to 4 in that case. Okay, I do hope they attack, but I don't think... Okay, yeah, but I mean, if they don't have way to give it an oil counter, then of course they don't want to trade it at this point. I can give them a poison counter, and there's no point using the mesmerizing dose on this turn on the Drake, because I don't know if that's even gonna be the creature I want to lock down. They get 3 life and a card. But yeah, now if they attack with the Drake, they will lose the game, because I have exactly 7 damage here. So they have to trade with the Vorak. Okay, they just lost the game if they do that. Now that's too risky. I would really want to Strider first. But I don't have it. I have only 7 mana, I can't do both, because I could proliferate another oil to this thing. But I mean, it doesn't matter here, I just... I don't really have an attack here. Yeah, I can force them to block with this before it grows out of hand. Lock down the troll. That has to be the play here. Sadly, I can't play my 5-drop, but... They go down to, what, 3 actually, yeah. And now they have no... And this is Death Touch, so they do have to block this. They do have to block that thing. Okay, that actually trades only. I kind of... Nah, I'm gonna trade here. It's fine. Because I can always attack once with this thing using the oil. They also had 7 poison, so, you know, if I get some proliferating, I could win with poison. But that requires 3. Well, that's more life for them, so... I guess that has to only jump block, and they didn't even get a card here. Okay, well now that is a win. Oh, and I get to even... Wow, these doses really do some work here. So I get, you know, another oil here. They go to actually 8 poison and 9 poison, but of course they will die to the Strider. But yeah, this is the dose doing some work here. Alright. Again on the draw. Well, let's hope I hit my 2-drop this time. Well, I have also multiple 1-drops, but of course a tapped land. Yeah, but this is a keep. If I'm very lucky, I draw a forest, which I did. Well, hello then. That is really strong. I think I wanna still play the Cultivator, because both of these will, you know, make this guy into a 2/2. But with this Cultivator I can play a tapped land now, and I can get my 5-drops happen too. But mostly because I can play the tap land on this turn. That's very useful. Very useful. So next turn I can put an oil counter on it, and if I draw 1 more land in 2 draw steps, I will be able to play my 5-drops on turn 4, or one of them on turn 4. Okay, that doesn't actually do anything, it requires a toxic thing. Okay, and there is the land. And the Basilisk makes this into a 3/3. Question is, am I willing to trade with the Raptor, and I think I'm willing to trade with the Raptor. My 1-drop eventually, I mean, after all, my 1-drop is gonna trade with the 3-drop. That is good value. And I have, the troll still able to, get me a card once I put an oil counter on this thing, which means that if they do trade now by double blocking, then of course I will. Okay, they don't, because this has oil counters. So now I have the option to play the troll on the next turn, but let's first see what they're gonna play here now. I'm not too concerned about the toxicness from a blue-white deck, because blue doesn't really contribute that much, but it can have a lot of proliferating. I do hope they tap out, but they chose very much differently here. Okay, so I don't like this. I would rather play my card before combat, because this will be a 4/4. And it's gonna be that fish header here for sure. Because otherwise they might, because I'm gonna lose the oil before I get to trigger this. So if they have like a bounce or something, anything on this thing, I won't get to draw the card. Why couldn't the opponent just... Well, I mean, if they have a counterspell, then they do, but there can be so many other things than a counterspell that it's just worth playing the 5-drop. This also can, block the Raptor. But now it's the moment of truth. Will this get countered? Nope. So I will draw and discard the island most likely. Yes, because I'm gonna sack the maze, so I'd rather have the second forest here. Okay, so now they're gonna have something, and I will have no idea what it's gonna be, but I think the attack is still gonna make the most sense. Okay, that's not anything yet. Oh, that's all the stuff they had. Well, I mean, if I knew they have two 2-mana cantrips. Yeah, that would have been... Well, of course I couldn't know that. So that's why they wanted to poison me, but I have the blocker on the Raptor. Now this thing is active now, but... And that's gonna make this into a 4/4. Alright. That's good stuff for them. But... Oh, there's a dose here. Whoops. How lucky. Okay. So I get to proliferate this into a 5/5 even. So I'm gonna tap this down. This is never gonna attack and booster guys. And I can attack with... So I mean... So wait a minute. Do it like this, please. This has oil, so I should play this first. Then I should put a counter here. Then I should tap this guy down and proliferate a ton. Like that. And attack with this guy and this guy. And also this guy. Yep. And then I have 5 creatures with oil counters, so I'm most likely gonna draw a card from this. Their blocks are not that easy here. Okay, so do I wanna deal with the toxic guy? That's a 2/3 or the 1/3 that's gonna become a 3/3 at some point. Also, if I kill this guy, it's gonna make this into a 1/3, just in case they have a way to remove the dose. They are gonna take 9 damage here. Yeah, I guess I don't care about the 3-3 too much. I have 18 life. I get rid of the toxic guy. No matter what, this is gonna be now lethal, so they have to do something about the situation in the air. And of course, there's still a 5-5 here that they also need to deal with. And this thing can boost my guys. So if they tap out on some flyer or something, I can even choose to make this into a 6-5, which is even harder to kill by double blocking. Okay, so blue-white. They have some kind of poison plan here. They wouldn't play the prologues otherwise. But I don't think it matters too much. Against the flyer, the long legs will be good enough. I'm gonna play that. Yeah, what do I want to... Maybe the Basilisk isn't that great against this kind of a deck. I actually could see against blue-white that the 3-4 can be, good enough stat-wise. Or I could just, be brave and have like a Maze's man. No, I think I'm gonna cut the Basilisk and have the 3-4 because this is usually sizable enough to deal with the stuff. Did I see anything that has 4 toughness? Well, the thing that's getting enhanced by the retrofitter, but that's it. So 3-4 should be quite good here. I can have this deck now. I didn't side out a 5-drop. Not this time. What a hand this would be if one of these was a forest, because the combination of these oil counter things that grow based on the oil counters and the dose is so nice, but I still have the troller Drake with the doses. I actually am gonna keep it, and if I'm very lucky I get to draw a forest in my couple of first draw steps. But I just feel like the Drake with this, because the first dose is gonna make this into a 3-3, second one is gonna make it into a 5-5, and here it is. Exactly on time. So then I play the Drake and I start. Drake won't be boosting the adaptive, but that's not a big deal. Okay, Igor played Golem. That's a good one. Cultivator, not... Well, no, it's actually quite nice, because I play this now. Next turn I can play the Cultivator and then the Dose on something. So this Cultivator is first gonna make the adaptive into a 2-2. Then I'm gonna get into a 3-3 with the Dose proliferating. There's not much going on with the oil counters on white creatures. It's mostly some blue stuff, where for example this. Once this gets a 1 oil counter, it will be a +1/+1. Yeah, I didn't like that. Did not like that. Are they gonna choose the adaptive here? No, they should take the flyer for sure. Wow. I mean, it's easier to grow the creature that cares about other creatures entering, but... Well. Okay, so I'm gonna still play the Cultivator here and then Mesmerize the Synthesizer. Don't really want this to become a big, unblockable, annoying thing. I get a poison counter, and I will have a 3-3 flyer right now. And then, well, it really depends on what they have. Of course, the 2-3 isn't scary, but... Okay, that isn't that scary either, because I can also lock down that one. Even starting with this first two. And I guess I might need the mana, so let's put an oil counter here first and then lock down this guy. Have a 5-5 flyer now. They still have 2 cards left. They have a dose of their own. But okay, and they can retrofit this golem here. Okay, okay. Annoying, but at least they are top decking now. Yeah. Well, I guess I'll just have to immobilize that thing first. I'm not really in a position to raise here. That's tap. It's not untap. It would be very sweet if it could untap. This target land, not creatures. Yeah. Well, no attacks here. Now, if they're gonna attack with the retrofitter, I have a good double block here. I really don't like that they might have drawn something here. Wow. Are they really willing to trade with the steward here? I mean, assuming they didn't get the trick. I mean, it's not like the 1-2 is gonna do much here. So if they're gonna get a 2 for 1, at least I get rid of that trick. So I'm willing to trade the steward with the retrofitter. For sure. So we'll see now what happens. They top decked something. Okay. So that's... Okay. And that's now 2-3. Back to 2-3, and they have a Mandible Justice here. Okay. I do have my flyer here. So... And that can... Well, let's just do this. I will loot here, I don't wanna... Oh, it's a mandatory loot. So, actually, now the dose is better, right? Yeah. Because it's gonna give me counter on the immobilizer. Yeah. So I can just trade with the Justiciar unless they do draw an artifact now. And if they do, I will of course use the immobilizer on the Justiciar. And of course the 2-1 can be just blocked with the Fisher. Yeah, okay, let's see what they do. So they did draw something. Again a top deck. No, they didn't attack. So... I mean, I'm gonna lose my Fisher if they have a trick. Charge of the Might. Well, they can do that. Opponent, that's very much good top decks there. Someone might draw worse cards as well. And... Okay, Copper Longlegs, it's actually kinda good enough. But I don't really have a reason to use the dose here. Yeah, if they draw an artifact on the Justiciar, I guess I'll just double block that thing. Now that's... Yeah, they don't have a good attack. Unless they again drew something. They did not. We'll counter here. Wow, I kinda... didn't need more of these guys. Yeah, I know I could attack for like 1, but it doesn't make any sense. Because I could, you know, tap down this guy, but I'm not going to do that. I need my trolls. And I have another fish here too. Well, this is the classic top deck war. Synthesizer, I might need to deal with that at some point. Okay, so this thing can proliferate. More counters on the immobilizer. Yeah, decline. I have a big Drake, but I have no way to untap it, I don't think. Alright, well I have a 3-3 now, which they can of course double block. But I might start tapping down their stuff or something. Although they can still double block it without me being able to kill 2 of their guys. No matter what, I'm gonna tap down here, they can double block. And they have enough toughness there. And they're at 12, it's not low enough life total at all. So I guess I missed this counter, but I guess it doesn't also matter. So if I attack with the Vorak, I guess I'll just do that. I mean, I will trade with whatever. I can get rid of the synthesizer and or the Justiciar. So I guess I can, in the end, lock down this guy. Let's get rid of the life linker. It's fine. And then I just need to draw more stuff. I still have a looting Drake, so I definitely shouldn't play the land here now. Top deck Wardies. Nah, I am not happy about that. Yeah, let's take 3. I could have maybe tapped it down, but yeah, I guess they won the top deck war now. I mean, unless I draw something very good right now. That is good. And that is good too, so I am in the game. Okay. They do get to loot a bunch with the meta tech, of course. That is not nice. But I also think I can now double block the golem with the troll. So, I mean, I lose a long legs, which doesn't matter. Okay, they didn't turn anything into... Okay, they didn't want to. Okay, so if I tap something down, it's still not gonna be... I'm gonna just play the dragon. Sorry, the Drake. So, oil here. Play this. Just in case they have a counter spell, because I'm not corrupted, so I guess the counter spell allows me to pay 2 mana if they have it. Augury is good. And I can start attacking unless they do have also more removal in their hand. They might not have had any reason to remove. Oh, that's nasty. Now they're gonna get some stuff. Okay, I think I'm in trouble now. And this is when they become tapped, so if I use my immobilizer, it's not gonna... Yeah, I think they just... I think they just have that kind of stuff. I mean, I have no way to push through anymore. I just don't have, because the problem is that the Unctus here is just too... I mean, I can't tap now. I have to kill this, but I don't think I can even kill it somehow. That's not gonna matter too much. I'm not gonna be able to proliferate by attacking 1 point of toxic. So what I'm gonna do here is I could attack with a troll, trade with one of their things. I think I'll just have to do this first before I do anything else. Plague Nurse. Troll is gonna draw me at least a card. No, I can't push really through with the Plague Nurse either. the fact they drew 3 cards makes this a little bit awkward now. I'm gonna deck out before I can even find a way to somehow beat them. Because this basically gives all of their creatures +1/+1. They can turn any non-blue creature into... I mean any non-artifact creature into an artifact. Yeah, I have my mesmerizing dose, but it's just not gonna do here much. All the creatures have 4 toughness. That is making my trolls really miserable. Okay, they're gonna attack and have a trick of some kind. Draw and discard. Can they dig out? I guess they can. Okay, now it's unblockable, understand. Now I have to put the dose there. I take 5. Yeah, I think... I mean, they have this, but I have a breach guy, of course. Yep, I don't have the... I mean, the opponent dealt with everything. I mean, my flyers, and the one flyer isn't here. So I literally just lost everything that can do stuff here. The tower Troller Drake here. And they killed, you know, this adaptive too. At least I will sideboard my enchantment hate. Any reason to do anything like this? Okay, I can, you know, force them to loot so they maybe deck out, but I mean, this is too many cards, and they get to, of course, keep all the good stuff. I don't think I'm gonna win with damage. Let's do the Mantis here, and then I will make this guy unable to untap. Well, I guess there's like a very small chance that... Very small chance that I will be making them to deck, because Unctus loot is mandatory. Yeah, it is mandatory. So my immobilizer can keep tapping down at least 1 per turn. But the problem there is obviously that. They will draw a lot of cards and they will get some way to push the 5 damage here. I'm pretty sure of that. Maybe they already can deal with the immobilizer. Now this thing keeps flying, so I can maybe trade with the Raptor. The Raptor can be anything up to... It can even be 6/1. Mesmerizing dose on where? There, okay. No hexproof or anything. Okay, I'm at 16 minutes there at 19. I also need to play fast because this will go to game 3, most likely. Okay, you get the loot. Otherwise I would just die. Well, I wouldn't die because I could block it, but with the Askant. Problem here is that they have too many life points, so I can't really... Of course I have a couple of reach guys, by the way, too. So my only chance is that they somehow just flood out and they don't have any relevant spells in the deck, because they will be drawing 2 per turn thanks to Unctus and me tapping their stuff. Okay, well that could become an unblockable thing, but it requires a lot of help, of course. I mean, 2/4 and 3/4, they're too big for my trolls to attack here. I mean, I can use this Ascent, but I'm not even sure it makes sense. I'd rather use it defensively. So I'm actually gonna go with the deck out plan, but that really requires that they have only totally irrelevant spells. I have 1, 2, 3, 9, 10 damage. It's not enough to kill them in 1 attack, because of course I can tap on their turn and tap on my turn, but that's gonna make me lose the game then. I can jump and proliferate here too, but I mean, this thing has 5 counters, I should use them. And I really don't mind them looting either. I just am very scared about that. They will have some good stuff there. But it's not totally impossible. Do they have 2 of those things? Retrofitter. Oh, that's a sweet deck. Alright, I don't think that matters too much. I can just double block with the trolls. That's not a bad one. Because that allows me to get 1 counter on here, and now, because these things proliferate, I can actually make this into an unblockable thing. But no reason to do anything right now. Nine cards in their deck. I mean, it's just a matter of time they actually find something that allow them to push through. That is one way that will help them. They have a lot of lands they can discard. 7. Another Drake. Man, that deck is quite good. But I suppose I have this long legs in here. I mean, maybe this will be a 3-5. 5 is too much though, I can't kill it. I can kill it with a Strider, I can make this into a 6-8 flyer. Well, let's put a counter here. I don't think I need 12 in here or 13, but whatever. So what to do? I mean, I could attack with this guy. I can crew it with this thing, so it's a pretty free attack. If they choose to block with something, they might actually choose to block with Unctus if they don't wanna get decked. So actually I'm not going to attack with it. I think my game plan is better when it involves making them deck out. Yeah, okay, I still have 14 minutes, so there should be enough time to win the game 3 if this goes that far. But it really depends on what is the kind of business in their deck. Because the Unctus might become their doom now. Okay, they're gonna loot more now. So I'm going to use the Strider to block this Glider here. Right. And use the Ascent. So let's immobilize the Raptor now. They draw and discard. And then if they attack with more guys, they can attack with everything, including the Troller Drake, but I have the Copper Long Legs in here, I have the Ascent. I mean, yeah, let them attack. It's not like I have a lot of options right now. And they can't attack with a lot of blue creatures because they have to draw from each of them. I mean, they are down to 4 now. And this thing draws them a card, so they didn't want to keep it. And they are gonna discard a Flaming Raptor. That means they have a trick of some kind. Okay. So I guess I might as well crew this thing with this. Not much. The Fisher doesn't do anything. And then I can use this in here. Let's see if this is gonna work or not. pass the blocks. This here. I guess I could kill the Drake too. But this might be more annoying to deal with. Yeah, okay. That's fine. 2 blockers. Nothing else is attacking. Sack this to proliferate. Now they are down to 3 cards. So they can't actually attack with blue creatures. More than they can attack with exactly 1 blue creature. I think I might have this. And I'm definitely not attacking with anything because that allows them to jump block with the Unctus. So I just don't do anything right now. They're gonna go to 2. Then if they attack with, yeah, I mean, they have to win on the next turn or they will lose. And I can tap, you know, on their turn and on my turn to make them draw a card. They have 2 cards in the deck. If they attack with 2 blue creatures, they have to draw them both. And then I can just tap down a 3rd blue creature there. So be my guest. Attack. I don't mind. Okay, that's already gonna be enough for me to win if they attack with 3, because they're gonna just take out. The Unctus actually was their doom. Guess I'll just tap it down or something. Wait a minute, this is other blue. Oh, damn it! I made a mistake. It is other blue creatures. I mean, I can still. Yeah, I mean, it's not enough. I can. But I'm almost messed up. Oh, come on, I wasn't supposed to do that. Well, first of all, great that I won that game. What a game. But I mean, I was able to block one of the flyers, but they could have had, for the 3/3, a +2/+2 pump effect. I was supposed to tap anything else. I think they had a blue creature I could have just tapped down. Maybe. I don't remember anymore. I was supposed to check the battlefield there. But anyhow, that was me winning because of the Unctus draw being mandatory. Wow. Well, not great, but I do have the adaptive. If I draw a blue, I'm gonna keep it, but man, this deck can actually draw some better starting hands, but the adaptive is so strong. I need to get somewhat lucky here now. Okay, well, I did get lucky here. Am I willing to? Okay, I'm willing to consider blocks here. I mean, I hope they don't attack, but I guess they're gonna do that regardless. Okay, they didn't, so that was the perfect outcome for me. Now I can, just because I was lucky enough to draw the island, even a second one, I can do this. Do they have a way to save it? Tiber stunned. Okay, they did. It's a bit odd that they didn't attack with that backup, but okay. So I can still dose it, but I might just dose whatever is gonna happen next, so yeah, that's fine. Unless they have another trick here, which, you know, then they have a trick. Okay. Then I can play the long legs here, still block that thing. fish head is coming up. They have a Vorak there. Ascent is the worst out of this bunch. I can take 3 from the Vorak and start the race. Please don't kill it. And they immediately kill it. Oh well. Well, I guess I will just use the predation in that on that thing. Okay, that gets now +2/+2. I'm not gonna double block it. It has death touch, so both of my creatures would die. I take my first poison then. I tried to prevent it as much as I could. Okay, now will they proliferate or take a land? It's a bit scary if they take a land here. So hopefully they just proliferate. Because that would mean that they need a 7th land for something. Yep, no land. I'm at 2 poison now. Alright, synthesizer. That's good. So now I will get a second counter on it right away. I just don't know if I want to use the dose on anything. I mean... They play one big creature and I'm gonna regret immediately that I played my dose here. I have only 1 dose in the deck because I already tried 1, but they had the Tyver stand. So let's say if they attack with Vorak, I don't want to take 3, I would double block if they have a trick. That would be really annoying. I can't say I'm a fan of the situation. Maybe I need to see what they play. A 3/3 might be very harmless in the end. This is a sorcery speed boost only. Okay, I will see what they play now. Maybe I will just double block with the long legs. Maybe they will trade with the steward or something. I mean, of course I would trade the Vorak on either with the 1/3 or the 2/2, not a big deal there. But if they have like a 5 or 6 drop here, I'd really want to tap down that instead of a random 3/3 here. Yeah, so if they do have a trick, then it's a 2 for 1. Not much I can do about it. I really don't want to go to 11 just for fun. Okay, so far no tricks. That's a fine trade there. Okay. I need oil and I can get it. So it is time actually to do this thing. No attacks though, but now if this synthesizer survives, I will get to draw a card. Okay, they don't seem to have a play. Well, I'm definitely blocking here. I'm not gonna double block, that's too risky. If they wanna use a trick on this, I'll sack and proliferate a 3rd counter on this long legs synthesizer, I mean. Okay, so they just, I mean, if I double blocked, would they have a trick in that case? I don't know. Let's thin the deck first and then draw a card. Or try to draw a card. They might kill this in response, but that did not happen. Okay, no attacks. Yeah, I wonder what would have happened if I double blocked there, because I would have just eaten that guy. Okay, that's a good one. I might, and I will most likely proliferate. But let's first see what they're gonna do when I attack with my 3/4. My first points of damage is gonna happen. Okay, they do have a trick, but I don't, of course, mind offer here. Yeah, well, I'm glad I didn't double block there. And here we will be proliferating on the synthesizer. Yeah, none of these I need. And then I am starting to have a 3-3 unblockable very soon. I could of course crack this, but there's no reason to do it. Just for fun. I can attack with the Vorak in the meantime. Well, there is the... I guess I could draw first. Just to see if there's something even better. There's something a little bit better, but I don't have mana for that. Okay, well, there's no land to pick, so finally my synthesizer is active, and now let's see if they have more removal there. Okay, more tricks, I guess. Be my guest. My Vorak did its job. Oh, that's actually gonna still end up in a trade here. Yeah, I am corrupted now, so that could be relevant for them. But I don't mind them having that. Okay, that's all they cared about there. Okay, black-green. Voraks, some tricks. Tower stand, Titanic growth offer. Well, there's a lot of tricks there. Can I counter them in some way, like with my own Titanic growth? It doesn't work against all of that. For example, the offer immortality. It can work against the Dross and their growth. It's not very good against the Tower stand because the creature will still be indestructible. So maybe I don't care about it. I like the 1 mana cheap trick, but I don't think I need. I need the second one. And I think my 1/3s are maybe not the best. I mean, they had the Death Toucher, but other than that, the 1/3s are not that amazing. So maybe I should have my own Death Toucher. I think that's the correct move. Long Legs goes away, Basilisk goes in, and do I want to play my own tricks here? Mantle and stuff like that. Nurse. I don't necessarily think it makes sense, so that's the deck. Okay, that's a starting hand that kind of works because this will be a permanent with oil counters, and this cares about permanents having oil counters. And I can get a turn 3 play with this thing, so I'm gonna keep it. Hopefully they don't have the Death Toucher, but okay, Duress. I guess they're gonna take the Immobilizer now. So my troll won't be... Oh, it will still get to draw a card if this doesn't get removed. Stalker, okay. Hey, that was quite convenient. Quite convenient indeed. I of course will be trying to block that thing at least. They have a lot of tricks, but of course I will just make them use it. I hope it's not the +2/+2 aura. I hope it's just a instant. Okay, that is fine. Unless they have a 2-drop to follow up with. And it has even... Yeah, I'm gonna do this now because I might have a tapped land here. Well, that is actually quite the question. That's quite the question. I will take 3 poison on the next turn. Nothing is gonna change that, regardless of what I'm picking here. But do I want to have the 4th mana on the next turn, which is meaning that my Mantis is only trading here. It's not great. This Strider was just very inopportune. I mean, I have already 2 5-drops. I know my deck still had 3 of them left, but still, I mean, did I have to draw specifically a 5-drop here? The Long Legs, you know, can block the Siphoner, can trade with the Stalker. But I still think the land is the most important thing here. I mean, the Troller Drake would be fantastic, but it's just too little, too late. Ah, okay. Let's go to game 3, right? I mean, with that, I am having no way to survive. Yeah, I mean I can play this thing, then they will attack with this in the air. I take 2 poison, and if I don't block this thing, I just die. Oh, I'm dying regardless because they're gonna this and this both deal 3. Yeah, okay. I need my 1/3s now. Now that I see that they have the breach guy. Now that I see that they have also the Siphoner, so it's good against the Stalker and the Siphoner. They have a Duress, but well, I have some non-creatures. They might or might not hit it. Is the Watcher gonna be good? Well, I have to already cut a card, so I think it's gonna be now. It's gonna be the Meltweb Strider. Canopy. There's not much I can do about their Rot Priest. I can tap it down, but both abilities still work. And that's really tough to deal with. So I just have to hope that I have like my Ruthless Predation and something with enough power to kill it. I don't know. Let's just hope to curve out well and that they don't curve out that well. I have a 2-drops and I have 3-drops. I should be able to do the 2-drop, 3-drop curve. But that's no guarantee. Oh man. I mean, I actually just have again 2. I mean, even in cut 1 5-drop, I have 4 5-drops in the deck, and again I have a starting hand with 2 of them. Okay, this is of course much better, but it's also the kind of hand I would rather, you know, keep everything here. I can't cut the lands. I have a very nice curve out with the adaptive into Cultivator, and this will draw me a card. I have to get rid of the Fisher as much as I hate it because it's gonna be a good attacker dealing damage to them. But this will draw me a card. Cutting a land is too risky. I still need to draw a land to get the troll, even if the Cultivator survives. So yeah. But I mean, with the adaptive into Cultivator, that is the best possible start, unless they do have the Death Toucher again. Hopefully they have a Duress now. Okay, that's nothing. Alright, and I can play the tapped land now. So now my turn 4 will involve a troll, but I of course need the adaptive thing to survive so that I can draw the card. Because if I'm gonna use the oil counter on this to untap a land, I won't be drawing the card with the help of that card. So so of course I drew 2 lands, so now I would prefer to have this thing in my hand. Problem is if I attack and they block, I don't have a troll for the next turn. With the card draw, I mean. I'm gonna push for aggression here. If they block, then they trade and it's fine. Now I will have, hopefully, the troll. Of course I can still block this thing if I really want to. I mean, if it was guaranteed that it's gonna trade, maybe I would. But they can have all the tricks. Yeah, okay, Rot Priest. I mean, I'm gonna get some number of poison from that thing anyway. Really hope they choose. Okay, this was the best outcome for me. That was the best outcome, that they didn't have anything that makes them attack there. And I drew my second Fisher. Okay, things look a lot better now, that's for sure. So what am I doing right now is I'm not gonna even attack with the adaptive because I can make this into a 4/4. No reason to offer a trade with the 3/1 here. Hopefully they don't have an instant speed kill on the adaptive. Okay, that's also a good one. So now it matters a little bit less that I put this one on the bottom of the deck, because I do have a bunch of gas. Do they have the uncommon? That's now a big question. It's a 1-5, it's really hard to attack into with the ground guys, but I guess the Mantis can do it. It can be attack as a 5-4. Okay, so they're gonna fight something now. Poison and poison. Yeah. And that's just enough to, you know, me not being able to do the block here either. But at least they did use 2 cards to kill one of my cards, even a card that drew me a card. Now I'm at 4 poison. I have enough life, I don't have to worry about that. Anyway, I will be playing this thing right now. I will keep the land in my hand just in case. I will play this fishery with the help of the cultivator. And I can discard maybe the extra land. But also if they attack with the stalker, I am going to block with the cultivator in that case. But then I can play the land on the next turn and still play the fisher. Okay, trading is totally fine there. That's dead, but that's fine. Oh, that's gonna be good. I'm actually going to even just do like this. Attack here and do the augury right away. This is gonna be 5-5 then. Predation or synthesizer, yeah, the predation is going to be better. Okay, I do have a chance. Maybe I should have played the land because I no longer have the land untapper, but I suppose it doesn't matter too much. Another stalker. Okay, that is... So I actually have a win here, because I can boost this guy. But they have mana up. I mean, there is an instant speed thing that could... I mean, there's an instant speed exile here in the format. So I actually think I should just attack, and I can use this as a trick. Because they don't have a good block on the 5-5 right now. Yeah, they are holding something. I have to just, you know, wear them out. Okay, they have that thing. They can proliferate now, but that's, I mean, that's not enough. Are they gonna have another one of those? I don't understand now. Each time to play the flyer, I will discard whatever. I will find something to discard. I mean, it's kind of tough. I don't want to discard anything, but the Ascent is gonna be so good. But this can proliferate even more counters. It's not gonna be the predation. I think I will still win this game, but it's a really tough question, because this can just give a flying to for example, this thing. If they just tap out on a big ground guy, I just have an immediate win. So I'm gonna actually get rid of the Vorak and use the Ascent here. Okay, they had nothing. Alright, so... Okay, that was a 3-0, and with a blue-green deck of all things. I guess the most epic match was the one where I won the second game by the opponent decking out, because they had the rare that made their creatures to loot. Forced looting. But I do like how the draft started with me picking the adaptive and the Drake and then some synergy for them. But I think I really would have wanted to have something like synthesizers and stuff like that. But I did have some oil things and a couple of trolls, so I did have synergy in the deck. And of course, all these good things that grow based on the oil counters, they are uncommon, so you are not guaranteed really to get all the uncommons for your colors because they might just not get opened in the draft. But I'm happy I was able to trophy with this kind of a less recognized archetype. Blue-green is probably not ranked very high. Maybe for a good reason, because blue is definitely the weakest color. There's not that many good commons for blue as for other colors, but it's still nice to see that you can still trophy with these kind of color combinations. So far I do like the format. It's a little bit aggressive, but then again, what format is it? There's still also, a lot of these 1-3s for 2. I think 4 colors have a common 1-3 for 2. Black is the only one that has an uncommon 1-3 for 2, but not a common one. All the other colors have a common 1-3 for 2, so you can have blockers on the toxic stuff and all that on turn 2. Anyway, I did have couple of worse drafts, but then I got back to the trophying business, which is always nice, so never give up. Good streaks happen, bad streaks happen, and the most important thing is to just draft and play as well as possible and try to avoid tilt. So sometimes I have played too many drafts back to back with bad results, and that's definitely resulted in me having some bad plays because of tilt. So it's always good to have some breaks. Although I didn't have breaks now because I actually did record all these 3 drafts in one go, in one evening. So that my 2 previous ones and this now, but it's actually now so late that I'm gonna stop anyway. It's good to stop with a 3-0. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next draft. Bye bye.